So, you're wondering about love. Whether you're thinking about current relationships or future relationships, this reading will bring to light all the issues and energies surrounding this topic. These are the cards we will be using in this reading. I have already shuffled and pulled them in preparation for this video. All of the cards before you will hold significance for you because you have discovered this reading. I do have specific cards for 4 groups of you, and if you haven't already chosen a pile of cards, take a few moments to relax your mind, perhaps closing your eyes for a deep breath or 2. And as you open your eyes, just choose one of the piles before you. The first one is usually the right one. This will be your primary pile of cards, and the other piles are your secondary cards. Listen the most carefully to my reading of your primary pile of cards. This is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, pile number 1. This is the seed of pile number 1. 4 of Swords. You are in a place of needing rest, and perhaps even being forced to rest. The trees are protecting you as you relax. Flames that were there before, grasping and holding on, not sustainable. 4 of Swords. Energy shows up to take you down a notch or to calm down. It's okay. Beyond this card is the 5 of Swords. So this card doesn't necessarily mean true rest, true healing rest. It means forced rest. I'm gonna say you're in a heightened state where you need rest in a very almost intense way. I'm gonna go ahead and read the masculine wing because it's on the right side of my body, and the right side of my body is a giving space, and the receptive side of my body is the feminine side. These are just my own associations. You can totally swap those associations or associate them with other things. More of an art than a science. I'm gonna go ahead and turn them both over at the same time. Wow, fabulous. I love when the Lovers card shows up in a love reading. It's a major arcana card. It's a 6, so it is a kind of a honeymoon phase. It's a really powerful space to be in where you kind of believe in anything and you can manifest anything, and you really believe in yourself and you believe in others, and so you're able to connect with others in this really beautiful and ultimately quite creative way. The feminine side of this reading is indicating that you are ready for love. You're ready to receive it. A huge part of your spirit is deeply entrenched in that energy already. Perhaps you're already feeling very creative, very inspired. Perhaps you're already feeling really connected to others and you're ready to step it up romantically. If you're in a current relationship and you're reading for a current relationship, this card is an indication that things are ultimately quite good, that the love is there. There is a potency that cannot be denied about your current situation, that you might be receiving more than you are expecting and or even noticing. This card can be potential. There's cautionary symbolism here. So the 4 of Swords is telling you you need to chill, and basically you have to chill or you're gonna hurt yourself. So this is what the place you're in now, but there's this really strong part of you that is super open to love. So maybe if you aren't in a relationship, you're super burnt out and you need to take pause, maybe from the dating apps or maybe from a particular person you've been seeing and it's just not working out. In your current relationship, maybe you've been trying really hard to fix a problem that isn't fixable either at all or on your own. This is ultimately a blossoming time for you. So this being a daily sort of day-to-day card, this is a minor arcana daily card. That this too shall pass kind of a card. All minor arcana cards are. The state you're in now shall pass. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe in an hour, or maybe in a week, but it will pass. Two of Swords, masculine. The Two of Swords is about choosing between this or that, and I'm seeing binary thinking. You think you can't have both, and maybe you can't. I understand this is a tough decision, but the Two of Swords leads to is the Three of Swords, just in the general story of the swords. 2 leading into 3 is the rock and a hard place situation from a 3-person place or a 3-figure place or a 3 energy place. So the Two of Swords is about having to make a decision that you would rather not make. Swords are challenges. If you're in a current relationship, you may be perhaps struggling with feelings for others, thoughts, but really they're just thoughts. And I think because this is just a day-to-day kind of a passing vibe, these thoughts are just indicative of your incredible potency right now. This is just a choice amongst many that you will be making in this beautiful blossoming creative phase of your life. By cutting away one thing, you're going to give birth to another thing. Say you cut this thing out, you give birth to a bigger and brighter life on the other side. You need to choose what makes you happy, which will in turn make your family happy and everyone else in your life. Overall, this is a beautiful reading. I am seeing wonderful positivity. I'm seeing a moment of pause, a moment of needing to cool off, and I encourage you to take a few days. Take time to seriously rest. Do whatever you can to get the deepest rest you possibly can so that you can kind of douse out maybe a fire inside. Trust that this is a wildly wonderful time in your life. That choice that you are trying to make with such precision may not be the choice that it seems to be. Blessings to you, group number 1. Everyone, remember to take these cards into consideration. These 12 cards are for all of you who have stumbled upon this reading. This is the primary set of cards for pile number 2, group number 2. Start with the seed, flip from bottom up. 3 of Wands. Spring, freshness, recycling, your energy, reusing, being efficient. Self-care as well, self-love and self-care. This person is resting, they are being creative, and they are doing some yoga and shining their light to the sun. This is a card that tells me that you are in a phase of independence. If you're in a current relationship, this is a cool time for you because it's really important that people in relationships live their own lives, and it really enriches the relationship and gives you things to talk about when you go out to eat or go on your dates, which you must be doing. Make sure you're going on dates. This is another minor arcana card, and I'm just vibing on these cool independent vibes. I'm feeling a lack of pressure and just a rhythm, a cycle. So you are stepping into a sense of self that is really vital to healthy relationships. And the fact that this card is upright to me is also an indicator that you have fallen into kind of a groove. Okay, for this pile number 2, I'm actually going to flip over the feminine side first. Okay, So far in the overall reading with all of the cards, I am seeing a couple of fours. Here's the Four of Cups. This figure is drowning their sorrows in dewdrops. They cannot see that there's plenty and that there is a storm of dewdrops coming along, and that there's just so much to be grateful for. And I think there's something holding you back. It's a four is a sort of a stable table, but it's not eight where you're in an advanced state. Fours are where you're kind of stuck, whereas threes are rhythm. Fours can be stuck. So what I'm reading from this is there's independence, and then there's also a lack of openness. Fours, cups are emotions, so there's emotional immaturity. We all deal with it all the time. We're children at heart. Let's see what our masculine side has to tell us today. All right. Ace of Wands. This card in the Mother Tarot deck is very much about kind of virility. It's a creative suit. So your output creatively right now is really strong. These are all minor cards. So I'm seeing that you're in sort of a quiet period of life. If you're in a current relationship, there may be a tad bit of wistful thinking. That's just something to kind of keep an eye on, because it can turn into something you don't want it to turn into, which is, it can blend into the Five of Cups, which is really about internal strife, and you don't want to be planting those kinds of gardens within. So you want to talk to your partner and get those emotions off your chest. Focus on the progress that you've made in your day-to-day habits and keep going. Also, it looks like there's a project you're working on that is promising. Might be short-term projects that turn into long-term projects. Creativity is sparking for you, and that's really positive energy. Overall, for pile number 2, I am feeling independence shining through, and it's nourishing your relationship. Talk to your partner, talk to a therapist, talk to your people, talk to your heart journal, talk to spirit, talk to your tarot cards, whatever it is that you could do to get that energy off your chest on a daily basis. Remember, these are day-to-day cards. This is a practice. That's what minor arcana cards are about. Blessings to those whose primary pile was pile number 2. And again, blessings to the entire group. I hope those cards also spoke to you. This is pile number 3. Just shifting energy for pile number 3, taking a sip. LaCroix, baby orange. Pile number 3, let's get into it. Another ace. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of childlike energy in this entire 12 card reading. Ace of Swords, what a powerful way to start this reading. I feel heartache, fresh or freshly revived heartache. Something has stung you. This is a singular challenge. It's not the end of the world. It is a minor arcana card. I love to remember that minor arcana cards are day-to-day practice cards, essentially. They're yoga mat cards. This card is about seeing the light. This is prismatic energy. It's light that turns into things. If you are looking for a future relationship, this card indicates that you are being shown what it is you don't want because of the way you're being treated or have been treated. And this stings, the process hurts, and it might be digging up old stuff that you don't want to look at anymore. I want to move on to these cards honestly right away because I feel like these flanking cards really matter. Seeing a lot of purples. Okay, we have the Tower. No big deal. This is actually another major arcana card, so y'all might be dealing with something earth-shattering. If you're looking for a future relationship, you may be in store for an earth-shattering time. I see the Tower card as not this tremendously destructive thing that everyone thinks that it is. I see it as just earth shaking and things falling apart that should have fallen apart anyways. Honestly, this is a really intense reading. If your primary pile is pile number 3, I feel like you're kind of in it right now. This too shall pass. Even a major arcana card that will shake up your paradigms. It will bring on a paradigm shift, or has. If you're in a current relationship, there may have been something really earth-shattering, or it may be happening and it hasn't been discussed yet, because this is a receptive side. So what I'm reading for you is that something is happening to you. You're on the receiving end of the paradigm shift. On your right side, we have the Seven of Cups, a seemingly idyllic card. This is the card of dreams. Sevens are about external factors being a little unstable. It's also a time of reckoning. This figure is looking at all of the cups and wants all of these dreams, is what they are, they're dreams, to come true. I see you juggling a lot, trying to make things work. And what's going to need to happen here is sacrifice. It's putting a lot above you on your shoulders and around your head, and you're kind of alone on this island where you're trying to do all this. So it might be time to come back to land. I just see such beautiful colors in this pile. It's really just pleasing the heck out of my eyes. I just want to stare at this forever. There's something awe-inspiring about this time in your life. Be in awe of the universe and its freaking amazingness. Group number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this to rest. Pile number 4. We're here, friends. We made it. Last but not least, what awaits us? So far, we've learned that we are in a place of loving with the appearance of the Lover's card, where we're learning to be independent, but we're also feeling a little closed off in our place of independence. A life-shattering, let's say earth-shaking event. The Tower card is about like ripping the biggest band-aid off you can imagine. Okay, more swords. Friends, I'm just proud of you. It seems like there's a little rockiness, and that's totally okay and totally expected. It's the Five of Swords. It's actually a card about fighting. There could be a bit of quarreling or passive aggression or just something that's kind of toxic. You're not winning this battle. In the grand scheme of things, a small piece of the puzzle. So let's not make it a big mountain. Let's talk about these. You're thinking about your legacy. You need help, and you're asking for help, and you might not be getting the kind of perfection or the picture you want, as you're working really hard to set something up, whether it's financial, which is a very Pentacles thing, or a legacy, also a very Pentacles thing, or a child, if you're thinking about children as a part of your legacy. Judgment, another major arcana card. So the 3 major arcana cards we've seen in the reading today are Lovers, the Tower, and Judgment. Your end-of-life goals, your bucket list goals, earthquake of the heart. You're also in one of the most amazingly open and receptive places you've ever been. If you're in a relationship, you are building something amazing. Despite the little things that are coming up in your day-to-day, you are in a very powerful place. And I think it's because you are in a very powerful place of creation and blossoming that you might be having these little growing pains, we'll call them. And if you're looking for a future relationship on a day-to-day basis, there needs to be more trust in the validity and possibility and manifestation power of your goals and yourself. The Tower card event has shown you, will show you who you really are, which will attract the life you want, the end of life that you want, even the grand finale feelings. You're creating something amazing here. We've seen so many beautiful colors in this reading and so much blossoming and opening, and overall quite positive for all involved. You're going through very normal things, or these seemingly large decisions that will pass quickly. These are not the main themes of this reading. They're undercurrents, and they are the area where you need to work. In relation to people who are looking to be in a relationship, you may be bringing too many bags of your past to dates, meetings, events, parties, situations. You might be leaning a bit too hard into a hard place you've been in. Self-care, my loves. So far from this pile, I think what I'm seeing here is building, and a bit of the stress that we saw coming through with the Four of Swords. This is the kind of Four of Swords progressing into the Five of Swords, where you're missing out on all the good things because you're focused on the bad things. So there's progressing stress that you need to manage, is what I'm hearing. But overall, you have really solid plans. They're very clear to you. Pile number 4 is complete. Okay, my friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of that. Again, if you're wondering, this is the Mother Tarot deck. I created it. It's available in my online shop. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you get a discount. And you get to know when I release more videos like this.